Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post a video here, just kind of a recent finds video. Stuff I've picked up. Actually, I shouldn't say recent finds because it's been a little while since I've done a video. So just things I've picked up since the last time I did a video. I don't remember when the last date was, but yeah, just kind of some things here and there, a couple of CDs. I haven't been posting as many videos over the past, again, I don't remember my last one, maybe just a few weeks or so, but definitely been watching a number of you guys, kind of checking out your videos and stuff like that, and yeah, just wanted to kind of come back, touch base, share what's been going on and all that good stuff. So definitely been doing a lot of stuff with my music stuff, if you will. uh, Seems like I've been doing a lot of trading and selling and swapping and stuff like that over the past month or so. I've sold a number of my receivers and different pieces of equipment and got new stuff and made some pretty big changes to my boom boom room. You guys know I did a video of my 70s, 60s, 70s theme room a little while ago, and I've made a lot of changes to that since. Additions, I should say. So maybe I'll do an update room tour sometime in the near future. And actually, I have one more new room that I created. So I'll probably do a tour of that as well, and maybe just tell you more about that at the time. So yeah, I've been doing just a lot of stuff musically, and just in terms of my collection and being around music in my rooms and all that stuff. And I always find those projects to be really fun. So I catch myself diving into that all the time. But let's just kind of jump into recent finds. Oh, another thing I've been doing, I'm working on 2 new box sets. So, my homemade box sets that I like to do. So as soon as I get those done, I'll share those as well. And actually, we'll use that to start the recent finds here. One of the new box sets, that I'm working on is a Whitesnake box set. So, I have a number of Whitesnake pieces already, and here are a few that I've picked up over the past few weeks. One here is Saints and Sinners. This is a Spanish pressing. Really interesting to go back and listen to this too, because on this album, which came out in, what year was that? It says 82. I thought it was earlier than that. But the original version of Here I Go Again, which of course was that huge hit for Whitesnake in the 80s, on their that 1987, I think. But it's really interesting because that same song is on here too, but it's a totally different version. And it's a little more, kind of early 70s, even though this came out, I think, in the early 80s, but kind of early 70s feel. And it's so funny too, because on the chorus, on the song that most of us know, the lyrics go, like a drifter, I was born to walk alone. And like on this version, it says, like a hobo, I was born to walk alone. So it's just kind of interesting just to kind of really get a feel for the different time periods through lyrics and the way the song is actually presented. I don't know, it's just kind of neat to see how that song evolved within the same group. But anyway, just one neat thing I caught from that album. I also picked up the Purple album. I think this came out in 2015, I believe. But, I mean, it sounds just like all the other great Whitesnake stuff, the same basic, just Whitesnake. When you hear it, you think Whitesnake. But I've only listened to one album so far. I haven't listened to album 2, so I can't, speak for the entire record yet. But a nice copy of Trouble here. Another Whitesnake classic. It's been so hard trying to find these two in good condition. I mean, they usually beat up or overpriced or whatever the case may be. So, and then Whitesnake, Snake Bites. Another good LP there. And last but not least, for Whitesnake, 12-inch single of Is This Love. So some really good stuff there. And moving along into some non-Whitesnake things. Grab the stack here. This next album here was one that I was extremely excited that they released, I believe, on the 29th of this past month. And this is one of about 6 albums that I have just been begging and pleading internally for them to reissue on vinyl. One of the ones that I really, really wanted was the 10,000 Maniacs, Eden, and they reissued that one, which was awesome. Then Cranberries, everyone else is doing it. I know that's one that I wanted them to release forever, and about a month or two, about 2 months ago, they reissued that on vinyl. And then this was one of the other ones that I've been asking, again, to the cosmos, if you will, to be reissued on vinyl, and they did. It just came out about 2 weeks ago, which is Concrete Blonde's Bloodletting. I've been wanting this album on vinyl for so long, so I was so pumped up. And the great thing about it too is it's another one of those, $18.99, $19.99 type releases, not one that's going to break your pocketbook to get. So, just all kinds of great stuff on here. I mean, Johnette, I love her voice, is absolutely amazing in songs like Joey and Wendy, and just all kinds of just awesome things. So I was really, really pumped that this one finally came out. So now the remaining 3 that are on the top of my list now, which I'm still going to hope comes out, is I want them to go back, number 1, and do for the first time Jillian Welch's catalog. Pretty much all of her stuff I'd want on vinyl. This Fire by Paula Cole, and Static and Silence by the Sundays. Like, those are the 3 that I'm hoping follow these as, at some point in time being reissued and put out. So yeah, that's almost a grail to me, in a sense, just to have that album on vinyl. Moving right along, kind of into like a little bit of a funk jazz type thing here. We have the Blackbirds, and this is a Flying Start. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that album or not, but like I said, it's kind of a funky kind of, not necessarily jazz, but really kind of a nice mixture of jazz and funk. Really cool stuff. This is a great dollar bin find, Teddy P. This is the album Teddy. Brand new and sealed, and it was in the dollar bin, which was nice. Songs like Turn Off the Lights, Come Go With Me. Just some of Teddy's classic stuff. I can't believe that was in our dollar bin. Frankie Avalon's greatest hits. I know. It's me, guys. But I do love Frankie Avalon. And the funny thing is too, I always like to tell this story about where I discovered Frankie Avalon, because I never really, I knew the name and all that, but I never really listened to him or knew his stuff or anything like that. And then I watched that series, The Headbanger's Journey, that really cool series that What's His Name did. And I've probably watched that, easily 15, 20 plus times. I have all the DVDs as well. And there's that one part in there where he was talking about how, music in America was dying and people were kind of looking for something new, and just kind of explaining where the hard rock stuff came from. And one of the examples that he gave in trying to explain that was, stuff that people had to listen to was stuff like Frankie Avalon. And they had a clip of him performing the song Venus. And it's so funny because he's like more or less mocking it, saying that was the crap that people didn't want to hear, so we needed hard rock to come along. And I'm sitting there listening to it going, I kind of like that. And so I always like the fact that a documentary like A Headbanger's Journey is what I give credit for turning me on to Frankie Avalon. So that was just a nice find to get that in my collection. A little bit of Psych here, Lighthouse, One Fine Morning. Another really nice piece, cool album cover for sure. But just kind of some some nice psychedelic stuff, along with an album I'm sure a lot of you know, The Seeds. Great album there. A lot of good stuff on here. My favorite song is probably Pushing Too Hard. I think that at least that was the first song that turned me on to The Seeds as a group. So I kind of discovered everything else after that. That still kind of holds a place for me. Gordon Lightfoot, If You Could Read My Mind. But my favorite song by him is the title track there, If You Could Read My Mind. So it's nice to get a very good copy of that. And some more good finds here. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Electric Universe. I really like finding this Earth, Wind, and Fire stuff when it's in really good condition, because it seems like there's so much Earth, Wind, and Fire out there, but it's always just like so beat up, and the covers are just all, you know, whatever. So it really is kind of a extra treat to find Earth, Wind, and Fire stuff where the vinyl and the covers are in like great condition. So I love picking that stuff up. Another really good reissue, Matchbox 20. Of course, this is Yourself or Someone Like You. You know, this is one of their real big hits. Had so many hits on this album. Real World, Long Day, 3 a.m., Push, Back to Good. I mean, just all kinds of great stuff. So that was another very good reissue. Finally came across a much better copy of Judas Priest, live in Japan. One of my favorite, if not my favorite, live album of all time. So a lot better than a copy that I had. You know, still dealing with a little bit here and there. So I'm still going to be looking, keep my eye out for a great mint copy. But you know, for $5, I wasn't going to pass this up without question. So that was a great find. Talktalk. Sure you guys remember them from the 80s. The local record store that I go to quite a bit, the guy was playing this maybe like a couple months ago or something like that, and just a really great album, The Color of Spring, and I just never really paid attention to it until I was listening to it that day when I was chatting with him, and I was like, that is a freaking great album. But just, you know, kind of their vintage 80s, you know, talk sound. One of my more recent discoveries, I mean, this album and others had been out for quite some time, but really just in the last few months I've discovered Mazzy Star. So this is So Tonight That I Might See, which has that phenomenal track, Fade Into Me, or Fade Into You, I'm sorry. Just a really a beautiful album. She definitely has a beautiful voice. I really like what she does. Another great $5 find, a Mobile Fidelity copy of Neil Diamond's Jazz Singer. Perfect condition. I cannot believe they only had $4.99 on that. And I think I had a 10% off coupon that day too. So, again, a soundtrack that I love to death. I remember when I was a kid, I don't know why it happened so many times, but staying home sick from school, I bet literally, like not exaggerating, at least 4 different times where I had to stay home from school throughout, you know, my junior high or high school years. The Jazz Singer came on in the middle of the day. And this wasn't back in the day where you had all, you know, the different channels to choose from and everything else. And I just remember falling in love with that movie back then. So it's a soundtrack I listen to a lot, actually. And then the last 2 here, the new Accept. It's been out for a few months now, I think, but The Rise of Chaos. Nice 2 LP set. You know, I've loved all of the new Accept stuff. The only thing that I don't like about this particular album, much like the way I felt about Godsmack, who you guys know are one of my favorite bands. I've seen them in concert more than any other band and just love them to death. But it's just like the more new stuff they start putting out, I started getting a little more disappointed with it. And not so much of the music that I'm disappointed with, it's the lyrics that I've gotten a little more disappointed with. So, you know, I put this on and played it, and the sound is great. You know, it reminds me just like all the, you know, the previous 3, except, was it 3? No, Stalingrad, but maybe 2 or 3 with the new current lineup. And this, again, this sounded great, but it's just like the lyrics have just gotten really weak. You know, it's just like, I just always think like, you can come up with something better than that. You know, when I was listening to songs like Analog Man, and there was another one, was it Kool-Aid or something? I don't know, but I just remember listening to the lyrics and just like, that's just so, like, they didn't take any effort for those. You know, I think you guys could be a little bit deeper than that. But even with that, I mean, it's a good album. So the whole new Accept sound of where that band is currently, I love it. But yeah, just kind of my quick little 2 cents on that album. And last but not least, another nice replacement copy, Kiss Thrashes and Hits. I had a copy of this in my Kiss box set, but it was, cover was a little bit worn and all that good stuff, and I stumbled across a sealed copy. I think this was only marked at $8 or something like that. So again, just another great find to be able to find this for only sealed for only $8. So that was awesome too. So anyway, those are recent pickups. Like I said, I'll be coming back. Maybe this weekend I'll try to get to it. There is, like I said, one new room that I just recently redid, I guess, or whatever. So I want to kind of share that and kind of give a quick tour of that, and yeah, just kind of spend the weekend catching up with you guys. But hope all's well, VC. Thanks for watching as always, and we will talk to you soon.